Hey everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my first reading vlog for the month of May where I am decluttering my shelf. I'm doing a 1 week, 1 shelf with a little bit of a twist. I did do my May TBR if you want to see me reorganizing my bookshelves and kind of letting you know how things are going to go because it's a lot. But essentially, I chose a bunch of books for each bookshelves that are numbered from 1 through 7, and at the top, which you can't see right now, but at the top I put a couple books that I either really want to read but I keep forgetting about, some really popular ones that I want to try, and then some that kind of represent me decluttering the shelves, because even though I kind of did that already, I feel like there's some books that I want to give a shot to before actually getting rid of them, because there's still some small hope that I will enjoy them. So I have the numbers right here. I'm gonna put them in the jar, but I have 2 bookshelves for fantasy. I have 2 bookshelves for sci-fi. We definitely do not want the number 4. Remember that, I don't want number 4. Then I have 1 for mystery, thriller, horror, and then we have 1 nonfiction, and we have 1 for like everything else, basically classics, contemporaries, romance, historical fiction. And I decided to put a bonus one, which for some reason I decided that yellow was the color to write with because I couldn't find any other color for a pencil. We're just gonna not judge me for that. So I don't even know. Oh, I didn't tell you, bonus. Orange is bonus. It means I can choose whichever I want. I never do that, and I should, so I did. I don't know what I want to pick right now. Just not number 4. To be fair, I did put books that I do want to read. It's just that I feel like I should declutter that shelf. So are you ready? Oh, red. That's fine. Red is mystery, thriller, horror. They didn't even say it. I swear I'm so like today. But I don't need to show you the numbers. Number 5, and there's only 1. So let's do that, I guess. Okay, so this is it. This is shelf number 5, and this is what I have. Yeah, that was not my stomach. I apparently managed to make the rest of the clip slow-mo. Listen, I wasn't joking. I'm not all there. So Abandon represented me decluttering because although I have read most of his books, I have enjoyed a lot of the recent ones, the ones on the right, except Upgrade, that one sucked. And actually a lot of books on that shelf I have really enjoyed, or they're from the same authors of other books that I have enjoyed. So instead I think I'm going to focus on books that are really, really popular just to see if I think they're worth the hype, if my taste is the same as everyone else. So let me go through them quickly. Okay, obviously I'm not going to read all of these, but quickly wanted to let you know why they're on there. I have 2 books by Freida McFadden because I've seen her books everywhere. They're really popular and I want to know, is she worth the hype? I've heard they're more like popcorn mystery thrillers, but sometimes that's what you need, that's what you want, and I think I'm going to give her a shot this week. I also have 2 books by this author, Jo Nesbo. This is book 1. I think this is like book 7 in this series, but like detective books, I feel like you can kind of start anywhere. This one was made into, is it a movie or a TV show? And this is the first book, so obviously I would start with the first book in this series. My only worry about this one, again, it's popular, so I want to give it a shot, but my only worry is that detective books, especially like male detectives, I feel like they tend to be, you know, cop talk, not really my jam. So I wanted to just give it a shot, see how I feel about it, if it has aged well or not, and we'll see. This one I think I'm gonna like. This is The Violent Conspiracy. Although I've heard it's not that much of a mystery thriller, but I've heard great things. I might keep it for the fall actually, because again, I want to take my time with it since it's not something that you can't put down, keeps you up till 2 in the morning. So this one I also think I'm gonna love. This is Malice. I have read another book by the author, something Suspect X, and I really enjoyed it. So I want to try something else by him. There's also No Exit, which that one I was supposed to read not long ago, so I think I'm going to read that first. And then we have A Jen Dies at the End, which I had heard would be good, but then now that I've mentioned that I wanted to read it, a few of you told me I'm going to hate this, so that's the one thing about Booktube, because whenever I say, oh, I'm really excited to read this, this is when everyone tells me I'm going to hate something, and now I'm second guessing myself. It's still going to happen, just maybe not this week. So like I said, I think I'm going to start with this one. It is happening in a snowstorm, and I believe the main character sees like a kid in a van, so like it's a thriller. Let's do that first, and then we'll come back to the pal. Okay, I think I'm done for tonight, but I've made some great progress. From what I understand, she is trying to drive to her mom hours away. She is in university, and she just found out that her mom is basically dying of cancer, so she's trying to make it in time. But there's a big snowstorm, and she is stuck at this like rest stop, and snow is accumulating quickly. It's a classic trope, right? Being stuck because of a snowstorm. Big fan of that. I'm okay with it. And then she realizes when she goes outside that there's a kid in a van, and it has to be one of the other 4 people that are there. And there's this one kid that's kind of sketchy, so she's kind of thinking, must be him. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I don't know about the writing. I feel like people were saying that they like this author. So far, I'm not 100% sold, but I am still intrigued enough. I don't want to spoil anything since it's like a thriller, but like having to figure out who you can trust. And it's at night, right? At this point, it's like 1 a.m. So she's drinking a lot of caffeine to try to stay up. So we'll see. We'll see. Not bad, but it's not going to keep me from going to bed. I feel like that's always a good sign when you cannot go to bed and you have to stay up to finish a book. But I feel like I haven't been super lucky with mystery thrillers. I'm going to do a close-up shot of this shelf because it contains most of the books that I really did enjoy and own from that specific genre. Not everything on here. A few of them are like the same author, so I just put them together because I cannot not do that. But mostly I have enjoyed these, and I've noticed over time that there are certain tropes that I do like small town murder mysteries for some reason makes them cozy in my head. And I do like the ones that are more like thriller sci-fi. They tend to work for me also, but I don't know about this one yet. But if not, we have a couple more to go through, so I think this week, I never know, right, with this challenge, what the week is going to bring, but I feel like this one, yes, it's like 1 week, 1 shelf, but it's a reading really popular books edition. I need to decide because I think, you know what, I think it's time for me to admit it because I don't think the popular ones work for me. And that's okay. Like, I need to just accept it and move on with my life and just learn to get different kind of recommendations because the popular ones in general have not been working for me. And one day I'll accept it, but I guess until then I have to go through all the books that I have accumulated that are, and then I can move on and just try to figure out more less known ones that are thriller sci-fi, maybe, because I do like when they keep you up, like these 2 by Blake Crouch, or these 5 absolutely did do that to me. Love them for that. They had their weaknesses, but they definitely kept me up till 2 in the morning. So not this one yet. Not this one yet. Hi. It's been a little while for me. We're day 3. I finished it. I struggled. Trying to be positive, open the windows. I'm like, wow, it's finally warm enough to open the windows nighttime, but then all I can smell, it's not the fresh air, it's my neighbors. Probably need it a little bit secondhand because this was a disappointment for me. I really thought I was going to like it, and like the plot per se is fine, but like there's just something about the writing that just it just didn't work for me at all. So I think I'm gonna give it, I don't know, I kind of want to run it down to a 2, which sounds awful because the reviews are great, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit of time and we'll see if I'm being nice or not about it. But clearly I haven't gotten enough secondhand. Anyway, I already grabbed the next one. So I decided to go with the Housemaid one because the other one, I didn't know what they were about. And the other one is also about people being stuck in, I think it's a house that they bought during a snowstorm. And like, I've done it once. That was enough. Like, no hard feeling though, but like, you know. So this one sounds like it's going to be nanny, which trope I like. I don't think it's a kid. You know, sometimes the kids are weird. It seems to imply that there are secrets. So I don't know if it's the family, her, both. I'm about to find out. One down. If you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments. Let other people know. Rave about it. But sometimes the writing style just doesn't work for you, and that's okay. But I'm going with Freida. Well, Clawdia gets a little stiff. Gosh. I will see you tomorrow when I start reading it, because now I'm going to go to bed, because the worst part is that even if I close the windows, it's too late. Okay, so I'm slightly traumatized right now, but I need to share it. They weren't playing. There was like a wasp inside the house, I don't know how it came in, and now I'm a little freaked out. I had to kill it. I used like a scratching pad from the cats, and just because they were running after it and I was scared. And Claudia is, I don't know if she's okay or not. She seems okay, but they're all like freaking out and sniffing the pad, and I don't even want to lift it right now because I'm freaked out. Oh my gosh. I could have slept in it. How did it come in? Proof. Like how? I'm gonna try to like live react-ish to it because I think it's funny because I like to guess what's gonna happen. Since it's the beginning, nothing is a spoiler. Like even if I'm right, it's not a spoiler. And whenever I get to what I feel is a spoiler, I'll make it very clear on the screen as always, so you can skip ahead. But this one is, I think it's her most popular book, so I feel like if you wanted to read it, you may have already read it. So I'm gonna see what happens. We'll see. I do have company. Charlie, of course, always following me everywhere. Right, baby? The babies have been full-on teenagers. Chunky, I finally caught him because for some reason, as soon as I turn on the camera, he hides. He just will not act the way I know he acts. And I've been calling him my whiny baby. And I'm going to show you the clip because when he wants attention, like they've been fed, we've played, the other ones are sleeping, but Chunky is full-on attention seeking at the moment. And his favorite thing to do is either opening the cabinets with his paw or attacking the ceiling lamp. And look at this. So you can hear him whining. He wants attention, and like he's adorable, okay? He's such a good baby when he wants to. He's cuddly when he purrs. Like I have so many clips of him purring. He's like so loud, and he's like so mushy. Like there's no bone. He's just a cuddle buddy, and it's the best. But he's such a whiny baby, and I know it's because the treats. I've been trying to find treats that Claudia will like because she likes nothing. She only liked the squeezy tube ones and sardines. Every freeze-dried treat that I've tried, didn't want any, will not touch it. Charlie will eat anything and doesn't even have to be food. He will eat it. Like that cat is not normal. And then Chunky is kind of in between. He will try eventually certain things. If he's not quick enough, Charlie will steal it. And his favorite thing is freeze-dried chicken heart, but he loves it. And I think that's the reason he's been doing the thing with the cabinet, because he does it to other one, but specifically the one that contains the treats. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he would easily exchange me for just a whole bag of them, really. He's staring at me right now and like, yeah, he would. Hopefully he still loves me, but at least once a day he started doing that. And I know I'm teaching him that if he does that, he's going to get one, but like my sanity. Anyway, if you see me lose my sanity as I'm reading the book, you'll know why. It's because he's being a whiny baby. Okay, so I've only read chapter 1 and you can kind of see what's going to happen a little bit. So she is going through it. She's living in her car and she desperately needs a job, and she goes to interview for this nanny job, and the landscaper is basically telling her nothing but just shaking his head no. So okay, so at this point the landscaper told her in Italian that she's in danger. I had to Google translate that. And she met, you know, the husband too, and she's saying he's hot. That's not gonna go well. Hopefully it's not like a cheating thing. Like I hate the whole like, hopefully it's more complex than that, but people told me it was popcorn read, so we'll see. But I think she is also bad news. I mean, she went to prison apparently. I don't know what for, but like, girl, come on. You're homeless. Don't ruin this. Okay, I know she's desperate, but like, there's a limit. So she was just shown the room that, you know, she'd live in, and it's in the attic. There's a lock on the outside, and there are nail, like, tracks. What do you call that? The scrapings on the door. Dude. Like, I know you're desperate, but like, oh, and the window doesn't open. Okay, so at this point, the woman seems kind of insane, but like, this is why people don't want to watch movies with me. I usually try to not say these things, but I like to guess. And like, I mean, if you guess 50 times, eventually you'll be right, right? But a pet peeve of mine, obviously this is fiction, so this is just my opinion on like real life stuff. But she saw pictures of her like before. She's been wondering like why. Oh, but like at first I was wondering maybe it's the child, because I do like the whole like, is the child evil? Is the mom losing it? I don't think this is going to be it. But the husband seems a little too perfect while the woman seems absolutely insane. And like, I don't know. I think that's suspicious. I feel like, like I'm basing this on nothing, but you know, in real life, because this is fiction, but like in real life, when you see a woman who looks completely like frazzled, she, you know, lost herself or like let herself go. I hate that, but like, you know what I mean? And the husband looks incredibly put together and like very handsome, and like they have a child, and like, it's you. Like, what are you doing to that poor woman? Like, if you love her, you would want her to have free time, take care of herself. Like, why is she going through it while you're perfectly fine? So I'm suspicious. Like, the more you try to make me feel like she's a crazy one, the more I'm wondering if it's you. So that's, I'm basing thing on absolutely nothing, because she's barely seen to do now. But like, we'll see. I mean, she doesn't work. Like, he's rich, handsome, so nice. So why is she looking rough? Why does she feel the need to hire someone to clean? This can't be a spoiler because I haven't read a third of the book yet, but we'll see. Also, at this point, I don't like her, the housemaid, because she is heavily flirting. Like, I get that she was in prison for 10 years, which I still don't know why. And she went into it when she was 17. So like, I understand that that plays a role, but yeah, hot, nice, but like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you giggling and flirting with that dude? So the housemaid is very Millie, I should have said her name. She keeps finding more reason to think that Nina, the wife, is the insane one. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I don't feel like she is a reliable narrator, because clearly she's not stable. So I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to end well too. This is getting a little dumb because they found out that they can't have other children, even though we would love to. Nina seems to be infertile, blah, blah, blah. And she, Millie, the housemaid, is like, I can have babies. Bitch, come on. She is unstable. So Okay, so things are definitely completely unhinged at this point. I think they would be slightly spoilers, so I'm going to be a little careful. But I can't decide if... How do I say that nicely? I can't decide if it's badly written or if it's because we're seeing it from the eyes of Millie, who, again, went to prison at 17, went through some stuff, and went out and, you know, trying to find a job. And the dialogues are really cringy. Like, I feel like you can kind of tell where things were going to go. But again, I'm going to keep this spoiler free. Feel free to ask me in the comment section to talk badly about this book. Maybe I will change my opinion before the end. I'm still reading, okay? So it's still entertaining. But that woman is unhinged. I feel like my phone got full. So I don't know where I was at. But everyone seems unhinged. And things are getting really messed up. And I don't know. I'm entertained, but the dialogues and the writing, there's something really poorly. I'm really trying and hoping that it's because it's from her point of view, because otherwise she won't be an author for me. Okay, this would 100% be a spoiler, but what? Page 152? What? That's all I'm gonna say. I really don't like Millie. So I'm about halfway through the book. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Everyone is weird. That's the review at the moment. I'll update you once I'm done with it, because at this point I can't say much without spoilers. But I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. So we'll see, I guess. What do you have against my book? Why do you keep doing your nails on it? No, it's gonna be all scratched up. Why do you hate my book? Do you also think it's poorly written? Is that what it is? Claudia? Okay, so I'm done with it. Million post-its. You can see me putting it less and less because things got more intense and strange, and like I did get an answer. That's important. Like where she went to prison. So like fine, okay, that happened. But like my points from earlier, the other day, they still stand. It's just like I don't think it was well written. Like I wasn't sure if it was on purpose. I don't think it was. And I feel like it sounds mean, but like very readable. I will grant it that. And I don't feel like it was like 50 twists that you can't see coming kind of thing, because I resent those, because eventually it's just so out of touch. Like it's just too far, like too much. So I understand the hype, but at the same time, is it just me? Because the writing was just really bad. Some of the dialogues were straight up painful. And I feel like the ending is a bit... The other book was probably a 3 stars, and this one is going to be a 2 stars. We go grab the next book. I have chosen... I shall be reading The Bat by Jo Nesbo, because since I'm already not enjoying the books I've been reading, although I am happy that I'm reading them. So like, I'm not feeling... Sometimes you finish a book and you hate it and you're like, oh, I don't want to read ever again. Not really, but you know what I mean. But right now I'm like, no, they've been readable, and like, apparently I'm cleaning up everything. So I might as well read this one, because Detective Harry Hole, and that's the first book. So I might as well start with this one, since a few people have since told me that I will probably not like it. So I only have like a day and a half to read it. I can stretch it a little bit, but let's say like 2 days to read it. So it's 350. That would be a bit of a stretch, but probably won't like it, but we'll see. Well, this is going to make for a very short review of the last book in this video. Last night I read the first chapter. I'm not quite chapter 5. I read the first chapter and I made it 1, 2, 3. So on the 4th page, the top of the 4th page, basically this man, this detective, is brought from Norway to Australia to investigate the murder of a young, pretty, was kind of an actress, not that famous, kind of girly. Anyway, and the first time he makes it out of the airport, this guy is there to drive him. This is the conversation. You must be an Aboriginal. So the guy replies, guess there's no fooling you, officer. And then he keeps going and he says, in Norway we call you Australian N-word. That ends with an O. This is when I realized, oh, I will not want to read this book. I had to look it up, and it was published in 97. So like, so I don't know if the author meant it like, oh, the character is definitely, you know, he is an officer. But yeah, I was like, wow, this is going to be rough. And I kept going, and like, you're introduced to more officers from Australia who are shockingly all racist, sexist, probably homophobic. One of them even kicked a freaking dog. So like, I listen, it's not even about like, is it realistic or not? I don't care anymore. I just don't enjoy reading these books. And that's exactly what I was saying in the intro. Like, I am now worried whenever I read like cops books, because that's basically what it is, especially if it's a main male character. Like, the only exception that comes to mind that I've read on this channel would be Inspector Armagamash, like that series. And it was written by a woman, but I had other issues with the series, so whatever, but at least it wasn't a complete, which I'm reading for my enjoyment. I don't enjoy this. I don't enjoy this. So I'm actually happy with myself that, can you hear him? I'm actually happy with myself that I'm just putting it down. So while I didn't enjoy really that much the books that I've read this week, I'm actually happy with how it went. I am now decluttering, you know, 3 books from my shelves. Am I decluttering them? Yeah, I think I'm gonna declutter. You know what? Let's go do that. Because I try them, they're popular, and they're clearly not for me. Am I ready to give up on the whole genre? No, no, but let's go and haul them. That are now being added to my unhaul pile. There are more on the other shelf. This one was too full. But we made some progress. I mean, I still have a couple if I pick the bonus shelf and I want to continue. But yay, we're cleaning up a little bit. That's going to be it for the first vlog of 1 week, 1 shelf for the month of May. I hope you enjoyed this. I can't wait to pick the second shelf. We're hoping for the best. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Bye.